Okay, so this is another little tutorial based on the chair that we did in class, one of the exercises again. Uh, let's do what we're gonna do this time is basically use like an image for the dome HDR eye type of image that fits better to the sphere, and we're gonna just pretty much not visualize it and then apply a simple light from the rendering options. This simple directional light. Different from the sunlight that we have applied other times. Let's first of all let's select these two guys and delete by history, so we can now just move them, and let's delete these two guys, and we're gonna in the outliner we're gonna see that I'm gonna group these two so I can modify it and rotate easily. In the front view I'm going to place it here, and I'm going to go to perspective there, and I'm going to copy it a couple times, Control D, E to rotate, Control D, W, move, E, rotate, just make a nice scene that gives more of an interesting quality to the scene, no? Or at least certain complexity of reflections, and so Control D again, move E. I think with this should be fine. Let's move it here, E again. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna create a floor as well. If we go to create a, well, we can go actually to the shortcut here for polygon, no, surface, sorry. We're working on surface in this case, and R. We can scale it up very much, and I'm going to open the, as other times, the hypershade window to generate two materials, one for the floor and another one for the chairs, as we've done many times. And I'm going to go to Ligh&Materials this time, to MIA Materials X that I'm placing here, 1 and 2, and I'm gonna select the floor, right clicks, assign material to selection, and I'm gonna right click, selecting the chairs, and assign material to selection. Simple as that. Seems like I have Mentor assigned as a render machine to use, so it's fine. The first one was the floor, I'll call it floor, and the second one is the chair, no? Chair. There we go. So the preset for the floor is going to be mid finish. I'm going to put it white, and for the chair it's going to be a glossy finish, or actually even glossy plastic, probably makes more sense. And I'm going to put it red. Let's go to dark red, some kind of red that we have here, and that should be fine. Let's see if they have changed, so it's great. I think for now materials are good, so I close that window, and as other times, I'm gonna just put myself in a nice perspective and save that view. I'm gonna press this button to see what exactly is gonna be rendered, and I'm gonna place myself. There we go. I think it's a nice perspective. Probably want to go to the outliner and select perspective and Control 8 for the channel box to change the film aperture. Probably look at ourselves in more interesting shot, no? 'Cause this is very important also to sell our render afterwards. Okay, that's good. Another thing, we're going to go in the perspective, Control A now to go to the attribute editor. I'm going to go expand this. I'm going to go to perspective shape and change the background to white. So I'm going to render this and see how it goes. I'll pass it. So this is the render. It's quite straightforward. There's not much going on. I mean, this is the materials, there's the floor, we haven't put lights or any quality to the settings or anything. So let's do that. If you go to the settings here in the top right, we're gonna do the 1, 2, 3 famous, but the 3 is gonna be the sky, the dome instead of the sky. So we're gonna go to HD to 720. Gonna quality. It's gonna take a little while till we get to Monterey. Let's wait for that for a second. And soon will come. There we go. And here we're gonna go to production mode. So many other times, and indirect lighting. Instead of doing the physical sun and sky, we're gonna go to the image-based lighting, create, and immediately the dome appears with this Monterey IBL option, and we're gonna click final gathering here as well, and we're gonna close this. That should be set. After creating the dome, we know that we can either select it here or here, Monterey IBL, and we can assign an image to the dome, so it plays a role in how it renders. I have this HDR. I think I sent you guys one, so choose some that you may like to give quality to the scene. I'm gonna use this loft light large, and if I open that, the image, as you know, it's set there. There we go. I shouldn't have done, actually. I lost my my perspective. That's something I was telling before, how to do it, and it's basically going to view bookmarks, edit bookmarks, say new bookmark, and say apply. And if you close and if you're moving around, you can always, as you remember, go into bookmarks and camera view one, and there you go, directly to where you want to go. And I think I'm gonna render this again and see what is the difference between what we had before and after. Render and pause it. Okay, I think it looks much better. We're gonna change very fast the background to white, so it kind of connects top and bottom, and we're gonna insert a little light as well. Let's do those two things. If we close this, you know that to change the background, we have to go to the perspective. So we press the camera perspective here, and the background is actually in white, so that should be fine. The thing we have to do is select the dome itself, which is rendering, and the reason why it was black actually is because the image has many dark areas and only like certain light spots. So we just select the dome and we go to Monterey shape 1, and we uncheck this box, primary visibility, so now it should be showing the perspective background, which is white, and that I'm going to render very fast and then change the light concept, so I'll just do that. Okay, so it looks very good, I think. Let's do the last step, which is create the image. If I close that and I check here, so I can play a little bit better with this, I'm going to create a light that by going to rendering here, and I'll create a directional light, which is this one, and immediately if I press W and move it, it creates a similar feature as the sun, but it won't give us the sky or anything. It will give us the light that we need. We can actually scale this to see it better or more properly, and we can also move it without affecting anything of this light. That what only actually changes its features is the rotation transformation. That will change the direction of the light. Yes. Of course, if we press this guy, we will have many options as well to change. One of them being that we have to, in order to get, well, let's actually check what's going on. If we press rendering as it is, camera view 1, and let's just render it like that and see what happens. Okay, so now it's good in the sense that the background and floor are kind of connected, so it's a very nice image. But for some reason there's like these little shadows. We lost the quality of the shadows that we had before, and there's no strong shadows at all. So for that, by pressing on the directional light, we have to go here to shadows, press shadows, and say use depth map shadows, And just by clicking that, I'm going to render again to see a little piece so we see what's going on. So I'm going to press the window render and do this in render. And we're going to see that actually creates a shadow, but it doesn't create a high quality shadow. It's like very, very low resolution shadow. It's even broken as with, I don't know, like a teeth, kind of a shark teeth shadow. So we want to improve the resolution of that and change a couple parameters. So I'm gonna close this again, and this is the number. We can change this, for example, to as up to 5,000, and if we do it the same window again, here we see the difference. There, we're gonna actually sharp. Let's see if it comes. And what I'm gonna do as well to that shadow, you see how nice it looks now. It's actually make it diffuse, so it fits with the general light of the dome. So if I close this guy and I not only change that, but I change this number. If you keep on changing this to 5, but you can go all the way up to 10, 20, or whatever. If I press this 5 and do a little window to see the difference, you're gonna see that actually makes it diffuses, it like breaks the linear characteristics of the shadow. As you see the difference a little bit. So as we increment that number, and let's place now like 15 for example, and we do another little window, we're gonna actually like change that that line that defines the perimeter of the shadow. Let's see how it goes. See how it's kind of shadowing. So I'm going to even increment it more, as if I want to actually almost make the shadow disappear. Let's put 20 or even 25, and the samples also increase it. And I'm going to render the last time because I think it's going to look quite nice, and that should be final point. Let's see, render, pause it, see the final result. Great. So I think this is the last point. I think they look very nice. Probably like a rotation of the dome, so these little spots here are very nice, but this one is probably a little bit too strong. But I like these tensions here happening dark, and the shadows like you could walk around. And so okay, I'll leave this one here. Done.